In 1869, the commissioner, Alexander Morris, I believe was his name, was sent by the Queen at that time, come and make a treaty. What we call Indians, even though we refer to ourselves as Anishinaabe, they came there to make treaty with us. So in 1869 they came, but our ancestors, the leadership at the time, the chiefs, and all of the people, they didn't agree. They didn't come to any agreement at that time. So what the Crown's negotiators did at that time is they came into what is now known as Manitoba, and they came and made Treaty 1 and Treaty 2. And then they came back in 1873 or during that year, and the negotiations again, they began again. And there was many conversations and many discussions in regards to that. I know in one of them, Chief Copenace, who happened to be one of the most prominent spokespersons, he was saying to the commissioner and the negotiators that Creator placed us here and rooted us here, and He gave us ways to govern ourselves rightly. So he was announcing to them what we were bringing to the table, the laws, the principles, the values, and how we were gifted this land that they were all sitting or standing upon. Also, our chiefs wanted to ensure that they knew that the negotiators were doing their own recordings. So they hired a Métis man who was fluent in Anishinaabe, fluent in French, fluent in English, and that document became known as the Paypom Treaty because it differs from what is on the 1873 Treaty 3 text. It differs from those notes that were taken. So now we know that what was written in the text that we all see and that we're all are aware of, it differs from that Paypom Treaty. So right then we knew that the government or the crown wasn't writing things down correctly as our ancestors had made agreements. Back then, our leadership, before they made any decisions, they always talked with the people. They always sought spiritual guidance through our ceremonies. When they got final advice from those spiritual beings, that's when they met for the final time with the commissioner and their negotiators. They went there with their tobacco. They went there with their pipe. They went there with their songs to solidify that agreement and also to honor them for making that agreement of Treaty 3, which is really to share the lands with one another and to live in peace and prosperity with one another. We were making relatives when we were making Treaty 3.
Punky Mike and Ninka Gungakit, Hokimaki Shako, Kanteko, Mary Lorraine Van Damen, and the Sham Takoshi in Nikas, Talakan clan, Kaki Ocean, Enki Unjaya, Shoal Lake, and meet us at the we with whitefish, not Kameguaning, meet us at the Cup Wanjayang, Nita Ak Dawak, or Persic Quack, the McMinis, our Wingen Gitchin and them, when Ke Kaki Pisho, Humbiki Guang, or Matizin, where when Chipminish among Kanika, Giponi, Cassi, Minike go, Kaki Pi, She, Pesantaman, or Gagi Pesanto, Gokchan, Schnabeg, where Schwendin, Mie, Hangwam, Gattashin the Mort, Manja, Habitukik, Chuich, Etuk, Hanishnabeg, kashi ka doni kesti metoga panegi meang sa ka ekaning hantap mat si neang oe tasko oe on touch it suin keep me moin song mina keep me mano minikeng ki bipong mina ki ni pakitong min ke pungi papa me ya min ki papa me ko semen kia pachigi kchong zamin oko hanishna be kenege ko ni min mandan ai eta shat kon tishe min mandan no noe ka nishna be win tekin I maisen ka te ga kitta sho mai song ke kapa ne ka min gishin ka te ka ningi kanta sina ne ne sham chhoshi ni ka te a pachtus kchimi kwach oe tikit oe ma ki pe jom pikiang oe ka omishom sang ka ni ka gi po ni ke si mi tas pane ka pinan man ko ting tani se oe ni kan oe ke nin chini kan ne mak oe te kan ki pinan tam ko ki pa peno chi an ke tas me o pi he she pak me awan sha ke nin ma wen che pasakuyan oe ko tinge ko ki bikchman taman Wotting go se oe ke ko ki mo se tain tang awia mi tas awe which it country ka doni ke sina no noe ka ki is konne ko at maneton on noe ke in o ki ayana ne in ka ki is konne enda ak o ki ma kanak mi ke ne uma ka pinti ke ska magakin gichina ndama pichoe we ne ki is at Oe ka ki oni ki koan ka ki umama yan uma ki pe pinte katot honwe ma we ne chkananta kin ni menjimantan oe kchoa ka kan koka ki ayat ni mashomis ko ma kchagete makakyate trunki shin kate mi ko mai ne ki opan taman ki ategen oe ke manitomas ne kan mi ke ma ka opan taman kinage ko ni menjimantan oe ke ye wa ka kan ka ki hapit moat ko mau ki ayan hui kiam me oe ke ko ki antok kentang oe hanin ke ni kan ke ki na min ke he request kan taman ni menjimantan ko ki chpa pate not mensha ka ki piltes ko at hanishna be Pangiat oe gatipachum oe minike go heshim menjimantaman chatas ni mi kwachi oe manito man ke is paket ni kwang oe ni men matisin chup minishamang mi mine go na ko minike me kitoan kchimi kwachin ticket mi go na minike kitoan mi kwach
Bonjour, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming here today on the place where we traditionally celebrate the signing of Treaty 3. Ziagwanikwe Dijikas Mustodem Namke Wajing Dongji. My name's Chief Linda McVicker, Chief of Namke Wajing. From you, Loretta, the Treaty Commissioner. From Manitoba, Sherry. This is Councillor Lorraine Major and Harvey Powassan. So I don't really want to tell too many stories because I didn't grow up here, but Harvey did. So if there was a customary chief, Harvey would be the chief, not me. I'm just an Indian Act chief. And Lorraine is from Wendigo Island, both of them. That's where they're from.
You know, you have to really admire Chief Powassan. And like at the time, there was no formal education. He didn't go to school. So he was living at Oak Island, which is now in Minnesota. And it was classified reserve until Indian Affairs realized that it was actually on the state side. So they tried to get him out of Oak Island, and he wouldn't leave. And he went to Ottawa. So to me, I marvel at that because at that time, like, how did he know where to go and who to talk to? Like, who to tell that that was his land? And he stayed there, and they couldn't get him out, and they were trying to figure out how to get him out. But eventually, they went out, and he traded 3 small islands for Oak Island. So that's why I say, we have to, put in a claim on the state side, because that's really ours. Those boundary lines they're not, they're man-made lines. And I think that it was stolen, Oak Island was stolen from us, and the younger kids should fight for it. I just think this whole territory, like, it's just, we shouldn't have never lost it, in my mind. We never gave up the land. He said what we did was we were allowing people to use as much land as they needed to plant, like to grow gardens and that. But we didn't give it up. So that was one thing that I learned. Yeah. This is where we picked wild rice. Every year we would come here, but we camped just a little ways down. But I would like this to be a spot for the younger kids to learn about the treaty, like going to that far into the creek and seeing that old broken down cabin, like for kids to know that we actually lived here. People were living here, and you can see areas where it's kind of clear and you can tell that somebody had been there. Like, they need to learn the vast area that's ours. It's ours. So they got to keep fighting.
So I'd like to see us be the protectors, because I know there was an element of sharing in there.
And we've always shared.
We've always shared, and
Yeah.
that's okay. But we be caretakers, because we all need the land. Everybody needs it to be healthy.